but sometimes God doesn't want to put us in a situation where we're most comfortable. So this is my story. I spent the first 43 years of my life wandering the world completely lost. There were 4 of us kids. I have a brother and 2 sisters. We grew up in a home where we were abused. My mother and my stepfather were alcoholics. I was always the first one of his kids to get home from school. I would run to the alley behind our house and see if his car was in the driveway. I learned the hard way not to go into the house if he was there. I'm talking about our stepfather. By 3 in the afternoon when I would get home from school, I was in the 7th grade, he would have finished a 5th of whiskey by then and he wouldn't know what he was doing. He was much more than an alcoholic. He was a child molester. Our mother would be working for several more hours before he would have to go pick her up. I remember one day in particular, I was 12 years old, and as I sat on the curb, after seeing his car, it was raining that day and it was cold. It was Rock Island, Illinois. My stepfather was the local Navy recruiter. And after seeing his car in the driveway, I hid. I snuck down the block in the rain. I sat on the curb and I sat there in the rain shivering. And I cried and I questioned God. How can you allow things like this to happen to little kids? I was mad at God. 6 months passed before I got the courage to tell our mother what was going on. She did nothing. He molested me for 2 years, and at 14 years old, I started running away from home. And at 16, I ran away from home for the last time. I had completed the 10th grade. I was completely lost. I had many different jobs, mostly as a construction worker. I was a laborer on job sites. But at 28 years old, I wanted more for myself. I said, if I could be anything in the world, what would I be? We were building a church in Nashville, Tennessee. It's one of the biggest churches in Nashville. That's my home. And I didn't know it then, but I had never taken a picture before. I mean, I've had an Instamatic camera. I've gone on vacation shot. I don't know where it came from. Well, I did. It was God steered me in that direction then. So I started night school. It was really tough to work all day in construction in the winter and then go to school at night. I finished my one-year certificate course, and you thought I graduated Harvard. It's the first thing I had ever done in my life that I completed. I'd spent all my life so full of hate for that man that I just hated, I just hated the man that did those things to me. And I graduated with my